Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of our Facebook Live. And like always, we bring many great contents and investment opportunities. Today, we have this gentleman back. We all know who he is, Jaden Haywood, our Toronto guy. And he has been really busy taking care of all the properties that we've closed with him. So, Jaden, we're going to discuss some great things. And, before we dive into it, let's get Tom and see what Tom's got to say today.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. So excited for another Facebook Live that we do every week without fail, bringing you real estate news, tips, things you can take action on. And today we are very excited because we are actually putting things into action, right? We learn and then we go and do it. And that's why we have Jaden here who's going to talk about it. My name is Tom Bibi Workis. I'm a real estate investor, entrepreneur, and I started with no knowledge. And today I can say that I have acquired properties with the knowledge that I gained from attending events and lives like this. So, without further ado, let's give it to Jaden. But before we go into Jaden. If anybody doesn't know Jaden, for all the new members, Jaden is somebody that we partnered with on a project in Toronto last year. It's been a year, and this is one of the greatest success stories in terms of how the partnership has panned out. This project has been nothing but a success, and you're going to hear more about it from Jaden. Jaden, go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me back on. I think this is our fourth live event that we've done in the last 12 months. And just before we went live, we were talking about all the anecdotal stories of talking the talk and then walking the walk. So it's really nice to come back 9 months later and talk about how we have developed $15 million worth of high value real estate in the city of Toronto, how we are constantly delivering value to the partners and the members of this investment group, and share some of the success stories, right? So, sorry, my dog's just growling in the background here. He's about to get kicked out if he keeps it up. Yeah, listen, for those that don't know me or for any new members of the group, my name's Jaden Haywood. I have 15 years. Yeah, you know what? He's out. That's strike two. You're out. 15 years. My background is in energy conservation. One sec, sorry.
Guys, if you don't know Jaden, I was there in Toronto.
Everybody can say hi and everybody can say bye.
And Jaden and I, we spent some time in his other investment opportunity that we had. That was the one in Gerrard Street. So, Jaden, man, I was just telling a little bit about our visit when I was up in Toronto. So, yeah, go for it. Carry on.
Yeah, I think it's so just like 30 seconds, my background. I've been in the energy conservation space for 15 years. I founded a group of energy companies that grew to 50 employees, 3 offices across North America and down in the United States. And we've been focused on creating energy efficiency for multi-family assets. So that was everything from like LED lighting to heating and air conditioning. Over the last 5 years, we have been razor focused on developing our own energy efficient multifamily asset class. So it's very unique in the sense that very few people in Canada are developing what it is that we're developing, but the returns have been absolutely incredible. And I think the real purpose of this live event right now was to touch base on future projects, but more importantly, I'd like to highlight some of the success stories that we've achieved over the last 10 or 11 months. So Noel came and visited me up in Canada this summer, and it was really cool because I was able to tour him around some of our eco properties. I was able to show him some of the building practices that we implement here in order to achieve high energy efficient buildings. And more importantly, I was able to showcase how these energy efficient upgrades result in incredible financing terms that the federal government has rewarded us for building green. So, for the last 5 years, we have been developing eco-friendly multifamily properties and asset holdings here in the city of Toronto with incredible return profiles and very low risk investment opportunities for those looking for true passive real estate investing.
All right. Jaden, are you going to give us a little bit of preview of what you've been working on and what's going on in terms of the construction side and the projects that you're working on? I know you've been working on some exciting projects. I saw some of we had discussed about that before. Some really, really cool things that you guys are working on. Did you want to mention a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sharing a screen right now. I think when I had first been introduced to this group, we were talking about a project located in the upper beaches of the city of Toronto. So all Canadians will know that that real estate is extremely valuable. It's a very affluent neighborhood, and our core focus was a tenant focused approach to development. So we wanted to build really, really high quality rentals that commanded high rents, but that were also in really, really good neighborhoods and transit oriented. So what we've been doing is converting single family homes to multifamily. They're called infill projects. And the reason that they are so low risk is because A, of the neighborhoods that we purchase in, B, because they exist along transit lines, and C, because of the financing that we arrange for these deals before they're even built. So really, really quickly, if you're new to real estate investing and all of that lingo and that jargon is a little bit over your head, I'll explain it to you. Everybody understands that when you buy a house, you get what's called a mortgage, and the mortgage has monthly payments to it. Part of that monthly payment is comprised of principal. Part of that monthly payment is comprised of interest. The reason that our real estate investment is so low risk is because we're able to access a 50-year amortization, which is the term of your mortgage, which ultimately results in a low monthly cost. So for a real estate investor, you're always trying to achieve cash flow. When you have low monthly carrying cost, the likelihood of having excess cash flow greatly increases. So the real estate that we target comes with what's called federally insured financing, which means that the mortgages that we take out are insured by the federal government. And as such, they come with lower risks to the bank. This means that when you invest with us, you get the benefit of these federally insured mortgages. A federally insured mortgages comes with 4 or 5 very, very unique terms. One of the terms, longer amortization. And then another very attractive term is a very low interest rate. So right now we're in an environment of very high inflation and high interest rate. And you're hearing all these stories about people not being able to afford their mortgage payments because mortgage payments have gone up drastically. How we minimize that risk is we provide federally insured mortgages that mitigate those risks and that exposure. So for your members that are looking for true hands-off investment with very little to no risk, this is exactly it. You are investing in new construction, which means low maintenance costs, and very few things are going to break down on you. You are investing in something that is not rent controlled, which means that we're always able to fluctuate the rent in relation to what the market is asking. But you act as a limited partner. So when you give your money into this investment, we are the personal guarantees in the loan. You are not affected by the loan. We do not use your personal net worth documents to get the loan. You simply act as a limited partner. And the limited is very important. It means that you have limited liability and limited exposure. So our limited partners enjoy the benefit of real estate ownership without the liability of actually maintaining the asset. You don't have to deal with toilets, termites, or tenants. That's all a job that we take on as the general partner. So again, gentlemen, when we started this journey 8 or 9 months ago, it was kind of this idea and had really, really strong fundamentals behind it. Where we stand today, 9 to 10 months later, we have now developed $15 million worth of real estate in the city of Toronto, one of the hottest real estate markets globally and certainly in North America. Toronto and Canada still possess really, really strong fundamentals by virtue of its supply. So rental units still go really, really high. It's a great asset class to have in your portfolio. So what we've done with a lot of members of this community, we've taken in their money and they act as a limited partner. They get to enjoy all the benefits of multifamily ownership with none of the headaches that come along with it. So If can everybody see the screen that I'm
Yeah, let's
highlighting
share
right
the
here?
screen. Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
I like the fact that you've got a great track record in Toronto with over $15 million.
I still
That's
remember Jaden. Yeah, Tom and I we were speaking the other day, and we just got started, and that was the first concept that you had, and you really got it off kicking off the ground when I was there.
yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing Noel and I we're very particular about introducing partners into the group. That they got to have a track record because we don't want to work with newbies, and we
Mhm.
are excited that not only you have a track record, but you're a local in Toronto. You know that area. You know what area is good, what neighborhoods are hot. So many things about that market, which is huge.
Yeah, and like, listen, just to build on that topic, Tom, our the name of our development company is River, and the reason is because we grew up in Riverdale and Riverside, a neighborhood in Toronto, and I could bicycle to every one of my developments. I think it's important to develop locally and to invest locally. So for
That's
all of
great.
your members, don't worry about being feet on the street. I am. Don't worry about getting on a plane or driving over to the neighborhoods. I'm here. And it's also very important to highlight one aspect that really brings our partners assurance and security. This is a co-investment opportunity. My personal funds are in this deals.
Mhm.
Sometimes as much as $500,000, sometimes as little as $100,000, but it's always a co-investment opportunity. So highlighting that fact, highlighting that we're not developers and we're not builders and we don't earn fees just by building and walking away, gives our partners a lot of assurances. They like knowing that I have skin in the game.
100%.
Absolutely, man. That's another important criteria that we look for is people who have skin in the game, not as just people taking money from LPs and and just building. That was another thing that we were very impressed with, that you're putting your own money into these deals.
Yeah, well, thank you. So, like, listen, let's just get right into it. I have three projects that I want to talk about. They're
Let's
all
Okay.
do it.
projects that are all in development and in construction. It's really, really exciting to see how these things have taken shape. But more importantly, I want to highlight some really, really exciting things. And if we're going to timestamp anything, and if you guys want to come back to it, this is an important timestamp. Our first project took us almost 10 months to raise $1.5 million. The
Hmm.
second project took 11 days. The third
Wow.
project took less than 11 days, which means what it is that we are doing right now is getting a lot of attention from local investors and from investors all across North America. We were very, very first to act on this missing middle space in Canada. And lo and behold, it is taking off. We were one of the first to the market to bring all energy efficient missing middle solutions in this like low density capacity with federal assured financing. And 8 or 9 months later, it looks like we're the industry leader. And we just keep acquiring great properties and key acquisitions because of our feet on the street approach. And the properties, I mean, I hate to say it, but like the properties just seem to be getting better and better. We are buying closer to subway stations. We are buying closer to major subway lines and future subway lines. And we are confident that the assets that we are holding have a tremendous upside in the future. There's huge potential here for appreciation. If you talk to any Canadian that knows anything about real estate, they will assure and reaffirm what it is that I'm saying, that the Toronto real estate market is very similar to like the New York real estate market 30 years ago. You buy now. If you're able to create some cash flow, that's a double bonus. But buy now, hold, get your capital out, and just hold on for a great ride of high appreciation and low risk in a world-class city and a global economy. So let me know when my screen is being shared, and I'm going to quickly flip through the three projects that we are
Do it.
developing or under construction. So let me know when my screen is shared. Can you see it? No?
Now we
There we
see
go.
it. Let's go.
Okay, so this was the first project that we started in November. For the members of this community that have seen this one before, single family home conversion that we turned into a 5-plex. The returns were absolutely incredible. You were able to double your equity position in about 24 months. So what we try to do is we try to return as much of our partner's capital upon completion as possible. What does this mean? It means that your risk goes almost down to zero. When I return all your money and you have no money in the game, your risk is zero. So once, and I'm not saying that that happens all the time, and I'm not saying that that's always the case, but our goal through refinancing proceeds is to repay the capital to our partners. And this project right here is such a success story of that. The second project that we have is just down the street. Same neighborhood is called Riverdale. I actually live in Riverdale. Same thing, single family home conversion that we converted to a 5-unit. Laneway suite plus a 4-plex in the front. If we can get a return or a look at this return profile here, 244% total return, annual average return of 49%, and your cash on cash returns are in double digits in the first year of operation. These are absolutely incredible returns, and it's all because we are building energy efficient and getting CMHC's MLI Select. Any Canadian, grab your laptop, go to Google, and Google what I just said. CMHC MLI Select. This is the game changer in the space. And everybody that is developing in Canada, whether you're building a 500 unit or a 5-unit, you are doing MLI Select. And the chances are I'm probably doing the applications for them because we were like the leader in the space. Not to brag. This is the most recent project. I strongly encourage anybody to go to your Google Maps and look up 733 Coxwell. It is 30 meters from a subway station. It is 400 meters from a local hospital. It is a transit score of over 90, a walk score of over 90, and a bike score of, I believe, 88. This is, in my opinion, one of the more attractive locations that we've ever been able to acquire. There's some really, really positive things happening right now with Canadian real estate. By virtue of the high interest rate market that we are in right now, we are able to get out there and acquire some incredible acquisitions and key properties, I would argue below market value. And we are posed in a position to continue to do so. So this one right here, 24% annual return, transit oriented. It's the exact same business model. So if your members that participated already in our past projects liked what they saw in the first two, they're going to continue to like the return profile of all of our developments. Our business model is simple, and we want to remain razor focused on that business model, converting single family homes to multi-unit, exiting with CMHC MLI Select, and getting our partners as much of their capital back as soon as possible. We think it is the absolute best way to lower risk and generate great returns for our partners. And I mean, awesome, without having to, talk in circles and overcomplicate it, that's what we said we were going to do 11 months ago or 10 months ago, rather. And that's what we've done for the last 10 months. And that's what we're going to continue to do for the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Jaden. That was awesome, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the deal with Jaden. He's been with us for the last, over a year now.
I think we did our first, first lives in like June of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So I keep getting my months different because like I'm saying, okay, when did we start construction? When did we actually raise money? That was November of last year. So I always say like, hey, look at us. We're 10 or 11 months in, but we've been doing this, since like May, June of last year. So sorry to cut you off.
Exactly. And if you guys have like any questions regarding the debt structure, regarding IRR, regarding all the basic stuff, we did a live back that time. I mean, we still have the recordings in our video files. So definitely check that out under the videos tab. You will see the old videos where Jaden explained the exact structure of the debt and how everybody gets their, return of capital. So with that being said, Jaden, what is the investment structure for these three? They're all closed out, correct?
Yeah, they're selling out just as quick as we're able to put like one-page flyers out. I think that there's a huge interest right now in infill developments in the city of Toronto because of this financing product that the federal government has put out to try to address the housing crisis.
And it's such a small and a specialized niche that I call it, that not everybody can get into. That's number one. I kind of see it as a high barrier to entry. And number two, with this whole real estate that's coming down in Toronto for single family homes, I feel like it's a great opportunity to buy now. Is that correct, Jaden?
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity. We're positioned very, very well. We have great cash reserves. River has done very well at keeping our debt and equity kind of around that 50-50 mark, which is like
Wow.
very, very safe. I would say most guys that have been burned in this space are over leveraged and have like 80% debt, 20 equity. We decided to be really, really conservative. We wanted to be to move slow in the beginning and then ramp up, and like that's exactly what it is that we're doing right now. So, for your partners, it's a minimum $50,000 investment. Of course, we only deal with accredited investors as Canadians. I believe right now we're still taking in exclusively your Canadian members, although there are a few American partners that we've gotten really, really into the weeds with that are interested but having a harder time getting their money into Canada for taxation reasons. But I mean, listen, I want to work with every one of your members because your members are smart, you're sophisticated, and you're usually good, ethical people. So that's kind of why I always wanted to.
Jaden, are you saying there is still opportunity to invest in this deal?
No, not in this one. The future one.
No,
right?
Unfortunately, no. This deal closed in 10 days. What I'm saying is for your partners or in the members of this community, if this fits your risk profile, if this fits your return profile, send me an email. Let me send you some information about what our next acquisition will look like, because we're acquiring another property in the next 30 to 90 days. And I want to make sure that I give you guys the first opportunity because we're just selling out of these deals so fast. Right now, we're buying and closing with partners' money and partners' funds.
Man, you just had this Coxwell up like what, a month ago, you told me, and now it's like already closed.
Yeah.
That's
we,
crazy.
We closed. Yeah.
So I want to recap a little bit. So Jaden said about 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever you want to invest. But here's the deal: if within 24 months members get almost, what is it? Is it safe to say 75% at least of the capital back?
I'd say that. I'd say it can change, like from on our deals, it can be like 50 and it can be like 80%. So like sure,
50 to 80%.
Of their capital back, right? So that's tax-free money back, and it's again.
How soon are you planning to return that, Jaden?
Okay, so that's it's. I just want to highlight that question, right? Time. Everybody here is familiar with the timelines of construction. Our business model targets as of right construction, which means we can buy a property and have a shovel in the ground within 6 months and be done our project in 24 months or 2 years. So just by virtue of that shortened timeline, your members get to enjoy that return of capital very quickly. 24 months. Typically, the return of their capital in that percentage that I mentioned before happens within about 24 months. Now, your members that were lucky enough to get in on our first 2 deals, they got to benefit from the fact that we already had building permits in hand and we started construction the next day. So, I obviously, there's some confidentiality and I can't name their names, but members of this group were able to participate in our first deal. They cut a check November 1st and we started building November 15th. So they will have their capital, a good chunk of their capital returned in like 16 to 18 months.
Wow. And then after that, it's just gravy, pretty much.
After that, it's gravy.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. So definitely anybody interested, definitely DM Jaden Haywood. He's in our group. Also, he has his contact info through Messenger. So definitely, check him out, look him up. And he's going to provide you a lot of information.
I'll sit down with you. I can take you on site tours. I can show you pictures of everything that we've done to date. And I can talk to you about what our next acquisition strategy is. We only target along transit lines and subway lines. We buy the ugliest house on the nicest streets. It's been our strategy, and it is paid off in spades. Before I let you go, or before you let me go, rather, I wanted to talk about one other opportunity that we are getting involved in right now. And it's a very interesting play that allows for American money. So, again, if you want to timestamp this right now at like the 2450 mark, this is a really, really exciting play. We have teamed up with Toronto's most prominent hospitality industry leaders. These are the guys behind some of the biggest restaurants in brands in Canada. Right now, there is a play that is a hospitality play where we are converting a current 11 units. It's like a resort off a beach in a neighborhood called Prince Edward County. And if I can share a screen, let me know when that is up.
Let me just go ahead. Hey, Jaden, how far is this place from Toronto, downtown?
It's about 2 hours. And Prince
Okay.
Edward County right now is being revered as one of the hottest destination places in Ontario. It is in between Montreal and Toronto, with Ottawa probably being like, tied for second. It would be considered the Hamptons of Ontario. It is on Lake Ontario. It is surrounded by beautiful restaurants and wineries. Comparable hotels and comparable stays are going for $1,000 a night right now. What is happening is Airbnb licenses are expiring and they cannot be transferred to new owners. So Airbnb licenses are actually decreasing, and the number of available places that people can go for short-term rents is decreasing. So the demand to get out there and rent is incredibly high. I don't have the time right now to get into the entire weeds, but I wanted to give a little teaser for any one of your American partners that are looking for an incredibly attractive and sexy play. You would come on as a limited partner for a very, very large brand and a large company that is looking to build here, Miami, and I believe somewhere in Texas. They're building out an entire brand behind their restaurant chain. The concept right now, there it is right there. Prince Edward County, surrounded, like I say, by wineries and beautiful restaurants, and it's incredibly scenic. That is the current property right there. I can share some of the renderings right here, but it's going to be a very high-end exclusive rental place consisting of about 20 units, cabins, and like a hotel, a main hotel. It's going to be all year round. The projected revenues provide partners up to 30% returns on their money. This is a deck that I would be happy to share with all members if there is interest. Again, right now, we've teamed up with the developer. They have a great track record. This is not yet gone public, so there's only so many details that I'm allowed to share. But for any American or Canadian members that are interested in a little bit more of a, call it like a sexier play, a little bit maybe higher risk, higher return, this is an incredibly, incredibly attractive play right here. And I'd be happy to share with you the renderings and what it is that we are planning to do. But if I share too much more, I'm probably going to get into trouble. So I'm happy to get into some of the returns on a one-on-one basis, provided that somebody signs a non-disclosure. And yeah, and that's kind of like the little teaser for the larger play. We are raising right now $3 million, 3 million Canadian dollars for this play, and I can get into the return profile on a one-on-one basis. And maybe in like the next week or two, once we get clearance to actually start marketing this, I can get a little bit more into the weeds.
That is awesome, man. Very excited about this property. I mean, you guys are consistently delivering great returns, and I like the fact that you guys are boots on the ground. So that's an added benefit. That's awesome.
Yeah, well,
man.
thank you.
Very excited about this. Any Canadian members? By the way, you said this is only open to Canadian people who are living in Canada.
Our Toronto
right?
play is restricted to Canadian investors. Our Toronto redevelopment of like the 5-unit multifamily. However, the hospitality play, Canada, the federal government of Canada allows outside money for hospitality play. It's a bit of a different.
Well, for housing, the housing, yeah, I know. The reason is they're restricting investment, so to keep the prices steady, I guess. So if you're in Canada, this is This is a great investment opportunity, especially with somebody who's got a track record and delivered in just a year. So, and this is his third project, $15 million on the belt. But definitely do your due diligence. If you want to go meet him, that's fine too. If you want to go check it out, that's all there. Noel was there, he checked it out. So, this is something we are very familiar with. And this team we've been working with over a year, very confident about them. We highly encourage you guys to do your due diligence and make that investment if you feel like it.
All right, Jaden, any last minute words or are you good?
I'm looking forward to continuing to deliver returns to the members of this group. I remember when we first met, God, a year and a half ago, it seemed like a pipe dream. So to see us at $15 million right now, it's really exciting. It's not just lip service when I say I would rather work with the doctors and dentists of North America. They're great partners. So please, there's no question that you can't ask me. If you're new to investing, come to me with your questions. I'll be as open and transparent as I ever been. Again, Tom and Noel choose the people that they work with very, very closely. They keep their high ethical standards for a reason. So I'm always here to answer, and I'm hopefully here to continue to bring value to the members of this group.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very much, Jaden. And for all the members, today is Wednesday. I know that we usually do our live Thursday evenings, but we had some technical issues, so we decided to do it tonight. But other than that, we'll try to hit our Thursday nights. If there's any questions or any concerns, let us know. And of course, for this opportunity, hit up Jaden Haywood, Haywood. So with that being said, we're going to land the plane. And thanks for joining and tuning in. Make sure to like, and we'll see you guys back